Hello again, and welcome to the Art of Art with Jonathan Art, who happens to be me. Now, I have realised I've somewhat skimped on doing the voice, so I do apologise for that, but it has gotten very hectic. So, yeah, there's only so much composure I can retain while doing this, so you're going to have to bear with me with it from the hymn. What? Anyway, that's immediately terrible. Let's not think. You... Why have you... Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting mechanic to have. Oof. Sobbing whispers. Why did I do anything? Okay, so they've introduced a new gambit here. I'm being a sinner. I'm sinning and getting it wrong. No, there's not enough time. There's not enough time to do the things that you want. Well, there never seems to be enough time to do the things in OVIVO. It's messing with me. I'll keep going at the wrong time. Okay, now guide me through the pastel. Fruit winders! Fruit winders! Fruit winders, I'm a child now. Fruit winders, oh fruit winders, you will never be okay. Look at me, look at me. Aha! I figured out your secret. Ah! I've not been as smart as I would have liked to have been. Right there. Aha! Now here's your biscuits. You thought about the time. You gonna be helpful? Okay. Helpful friend. Mind that you don't break any eggs. There we go, we get fun dotted creatures. I would assume this is the right way. This all seems very Have I done it correct? I'd like to think so. But there's never a way of knowing until you've already died! Okay. No. Shit. Alright. Alright, you see, now it's good. Well, You thought you'd fooled me, but I'm actually not fooled. Which is what you were hoping the opposite of would happen. Pointy. Nearly pointed me out of the point, didn't it? I very nearly didn't get where I wanted to be in life. I am once again very perturbed that there is so much space that I've not interacted with. Because it makes me feel like I've gone the wrong way. And there's a pointy triangle that wants me dead. find out. Well, this is good. There we go, that way. Okay, so I've not missed a Major Darcy Winston Brie, but I have landed where I didn't want to. Wait for that to go back down. Art. It's easy to forget that this is art. To be honest, is why the Jonathan art is sort of receding to the subconscious a bit, because while it is a lot of pictures, not a lot of like artistic intent is going on. And again, I should probably like stop explaining that at some point. But it is because Rorschach test, isn't it? But it's like, if you're not gonna make ridiculous, artsy nonsense, like if you're not gonna claim that it's deep, which I guess they kind of did, but I don't know. Why have I done that? Who does this benefit? Your spikes make it difficult for me to know where I'm supposed to be going, when I'm supposed to be doing it, and who made me live. Maybe there's another way to go about this. Well, it probably isn't that. I think theoretically my idea is sound. Here we go. Who ran off? I got distracted by someone running off. Okay. Let's try to do well, as opposed to badly, which we usually do. Oh, it's a pillar. It's a sort of wiggle boy that I'm unfamiliar with. Aha! I cottoned on. Oh no! Oh, it's a death boy. You wanna hit the balance between getting where you live and then not dying in the attempt of doing it. But you knew that, of course. Aha! I've outmaneuvered you! Which was, of course, the point. And now I think... Ah! Well, there's nothing... No. That's good. Have you noticed how before it was all like nature stuff, and now it's all technology? I wonder if that's some sort of allegory or whatever. Because before it was like primordial goop, wasn't it? Do you remember the goopy bit with Cthulhu in it? There was all goop, right? Then it was planty plant life, wasn't it? It's deep, right? Because it's art. And now it's all technology. And one would think there's a way for me to get up there, but it doesn't appear to be a sneaky way. Not so much as a sneaky Kurds. Oh wait, ha! Here's where the crisps live. Why? And then we do a slippy woo, and then a whip, and then perhaps whoop, and then okay, and that's our final triangle. And here is our friend. who we like. And then we go through here. Oh, squanch. You gotta make sure you can actually reach. Right as I said it. Right as I said it, the thing I was concerned about happened. You gotta make sure oh, the squanch has got to reach. Go. Go on the no. Ho on the knee. Oh, on my knee. Whoa ho. Woo-wee. Okay. Okay. Now we cannot phase through this because it's got a little barrier. It is too narrow. It's too narrow for such shenanigans. Okay. If you say so. You're doing it! Okay. It's behaving now. Haha! Didn't even need to use my legs. Right, now the diamonds have to be careful. Because... Aha! Further up into the vortex. My name is Dr. Whispers, and I like you very much. Would you like some chicken noodle soup? Or am I wasting my fucking time asking? Okay. Okay. Oh! Droopy! We've not had anything droopy in a while. There's all of a sudden there's droopy shapes. Exciting. Oh no. Oh, we've gone into the squiggle dimension. Oh, what will become of us? Well, here's the exit anyway. Huh, we just sort of flooped upwards into the... Oh, we were the triangle. Look, it's like it's made a big chimney, and it spuffed out a squiggle cloud, didn't it? Look, big chimney up the middle and a spuffy woof. Apart from that, once again, it's all just sort of mechanical shit. Just looks like corners and circuitry and gears and all that fun stuff. You can see some things still moving in there. There's a squigglo line. There's some platforms that we like. The fun diamonds. Yeah, it's exactly what we've come to expect. Oh no. Oh, it's collapsing in on itself. Okay. Oh! Oh no, what have we done? What's happened? What's happened as a result of this? We are a dragon now! That's excellent! OVIVO? OVIVO, you shouldn't have! We express huge gratitude to Microsoft. Thank you for existing, OVIVO. This was... Yeah, look, we've got all the symbols on us. The story made us a dragon, and there's a different one. in memoriam. I feel a bit disrespectful now for having made fun of the game, but at the same time, look at it. I mean, this is absolutely how I want to be remembered, and I say that without a hint of sarcasm. If someone ends up making something like this in my memory, I would genuinely be delighted from beyond the grave. Because I will not forget this game until the moment of my passing. This is beautiful. So, now that we're at the end, let's take the opportunity to discuss OVIVO as a game, as a piece of art, and as a philosophy, and sort of compare what we experienced against the mission statement. I like it. I'm very glad to have encountered this game. It's not the kind of game that I would ever have any reason to go back to. Maybe if I was showing it to someone else. If I were getting to watch someone else experience OVIVO for the first time, that would be the situation in which I would break this game out again. Which isn't a bad thing. You know, games are sort of obsessed with the idea of replayability and, you know, having a long life after the initial, you know, having a long tail, I think is the term they use, but it's really not the be-all and end-all. You know, my memory of this game will be no less treasured for its brevity. You know, it's not like I'm not going back to it because I'm sick of it. If there were more of this game, I would gladly play it. But it's like, the reason I enjoyed this experience so much is something that you couldn't replicate on a second playthrough. You know, so like going back would be pointless. This was a fleeting kind of beauty. A flower is beautiful because it dies. Which I don't think is true. I think a flower is beautiful because it's a fun shape with some nice colours on it, but, you know, you do you, whoever I was just quoting. But yeah, the mission statement, with regards to the mission statement of it being a Rorschach test in playable form, mechanically, very good. Very interested, got very invested in that set of mechanics, and I usually don't go for platformers. So the fact that I was so intrigued by one on a mechanical level is certainly a point in the game's favour. As a Rorschach test, though, I mean, this is sort of, if you make something that is designed to mean nothing, you're going to end up with something that means nothing. Like, really, I'm not sure what I was supposed to derive, if anything, from this. And I get that's where the concept falls down, really. Like, I was, when the lizard fella from the opening screen turned up, I was thinking that when that happened I was going to make some sort of, you know, long artsy joke about what the lizard represents, but by the time I got there I was just so completely checked out of trying to read meaning into anything that it slipped my mind completely. It slipped my mind completely to get into my typical artsy bullshit as Jonathan Art, because there was nothing. And there was supposed to be nothing. But there was supposed to be nothing in a way that ended up with something. But there was nothing. My head hurts. I've said a couple of times before in this series that it's not a true ink blot because it's all deliberately designed to be a certain way. And it had to be, really, from just a level design perspective. Cause, you know, you've got to be able to traverse the space. You know, it's all very well having the way it looks be completely random, but you need to actually be able to get across it. You need to be able to traverse it and get to the end of the game, don't you? Otherwise, it's pointless. What you'll have made there is a broken game. So yeah, there needed to be design into this, but also like from a visual standpoint, it all is definitely designed to look like something. And I don't know how my experience of the game would change, if at all, if that were not the case. If they had just made a bunch of fun squiggles, kind of left you to see whatever you wanted in them, I don't really know how that would change anything. If anything, it might just make it less visually engaging if there were just blatantly nothing there. Like, Rorschach tests are used by psychologists for clinical purposes. They're not really an entertainment thing, so maybe to be completely true to the mission statement would not have been practical. But so what you're left with is all of this imagery that is definitely supposed to be imagery of specific things. And so those shapes do have some tiny degree of inherent meaning to them. But for the premise of your game, you need to make them meaningless. So what they've done is to make the imagery they've used so vague, so completely vague and surface level as to make the difference irrelevant. It is, as near as makes no difference, meaningless. What OVIVO basically is the most basic, vaguest visual idea of your typical artsy indie platformer. They took all of the trappings, all the visual trappings of an artsy platformer, and then removed all of the context, the coherence, any attempt at a deeper examination of the visual themes being used. All of the other stuff that would usually go into something like this. They just scooped it all out and left behind the hollow shell. This is a hollow shell. OVIVO is basically a distillation down to the most basic, fundamental idea of what an art game is. And it really kind of lays bare the formula, which that is something I actually do appreciate quite a bit. Maybe there is some truth to the "this shit ain't hard the fake" idea that I proposed at the beginning of this series. I would love it if it were deliberate, but even if it's not, if you want to experience a game that will absolutely equip you to see the strings in every other artsy game you ever play, you could do worse than this. This is a masterclass, because it's all in there. Oh, look, it's all plants. Oh, but now it's all machines. Oh. Ah, lizard. There's two worlds, they exist in harmony. OVIVO, I don't know if it's lived up to the goals it set for itself, but it certainly lived up to my expectations of what it was going to be. And if not, exceeded them, and has actually managed to be a pretty decent little game on top of it all. But just... it's not an allegory. Alright, it just isn't. It's not an allegory, and you've not created a world. You've created a series of platforms that you've just slapped the name world onto, as if that makes it. Like, I struggle to believe that this is a space that, like, things inhabit. This doesn't feel like a living, breathing thing in the way that a world is. It just feels like a picture. Which it is, because, that's the point, really. It's all symbols. So the world that it's describing will obviously just be an abstract concept to us, because all we really have to go on are the symbols that describe it. The words that have been written about it. but to someone, this was their life. You know, this was the world they lived in much the same way as we live in this one. This here and now that we inhabit. And one day, far in the future, this may seem just as abstract, just as alien to the people who look at us through the lens of whatever words have been left behind. And they won't see people. They won't see a world, not really. They'll just see the concept of a world and its people. This abstraction of what a world and its people look like. An uncanny facsimile of themselves that will never quite be real to them. And that being the case, will they even see us as having been alive in the same way that they are? Will they imagine that we could feel? Fuck! Fuck you! Oh, OVIVO, you got me! Oh, for fuck, you got me at the last minute, OVIVO! Oh no, a functioning allegory! Oh, beans. Oh, heck. Shit. Well, I've done it. Blood has been squeezed from the stone. Meaning has found its way into OVIVO. But you know, we're not quite done yet. Before OVIVO starts going ahead thinking it's won. Because if you remember, I said we were going to have a look at the trophies when all this was over, didn't I? And all of that meaning that OVIVO appeared to have mere seconds ago? Prepare for all of that to go out the fucking window. Here we shall see the game's true colours. So, to close us out, I present to you the OVIVO trophy list. The world was forgotten. Only symbols remained. The rings of a tree. If order in space, destruction in chaos. Questions eternal. Learning the nothing. Everything escapes from us. Halves of the one. A tree crashing down. No one to hear its lonely fall. An act of silence. A kitten is saved. Now fish kills its hunger. Bless in the voice. Garden full of life. No fallen leaves anywhere. The garden is dead. The world is created. Under the feet of one who marches forward. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Nothing is eternal. Its borders are all. In the endless circle. The end is the beginning. The circle is complete. The story is written. Morse. So that's been OVIVO. Fuck you for watching. Goodbye.